Hey everybody, I'm just going to go over some editing of the G-code that I have to usually do when I'm using it with the Rapid Tool Change ATC. Visual Studio is what I use to edit with, and this is an extension called Gcode. It shows me where the tool changes and rapid changes are. Now, I finished the last video editing this for getting it ready to be machined, and I use a program or an add-on for Fusion 360 Personal, which is called Post Process All. And what this allows you to do, if I click it here, it allows you to select an output folder, and then your output units, any of your tool changes, add-ins in between, your ending sequences. This basically gives you the means to be able to use an auto tool changer with Fusion, because a personal account doesn't allow tool changes. So this is how I have it set up. If you want info on where to get that from, you just do a Google search and type in, I'll show you the link here, Fusion 360 Post Process All Batch GitHub. And this is the GitHub page. It tells you exactly what to do to get it. You basically download the code, and then the installation is you just go into your under Design, Utilities, and you go to Scripts and Add-ons, and under Add-ins you add the Post Process All, which will show up in here. If you've done it correctly, when you go into the design, I'm switching pages, so it's just doing that. But it'll show up under here. Let's see, where is it? It's under Modify. I forgot where it is. Bear with me. It's been such a while since I actually set it up. Oh, it's under Utilities over here, under Design, and you go to Add-ins, and it brings up this little window here. And inside here, if you go to Add-ins, you'll see Post Process All is there, and Run at Startup should be selected. And what this does, basically, it gives you a way to use Fusion 360 Personal with an auto tool changer. Now, I do have a modded post processor, which I use for the post processor, which adds the tool changes for my dust boot. in between my tool changes, it adds the load and unload. As you can see here, this is the initial setup. It's already been edited, and first it does the tool change, then it loads the dust shoe, which is this section in here, turns the spindle on, pauses so I can make sure everything's correct. Even though I do the tool changes, I usually add the pause in there just in case anything, if the tool moves in the ATC collet or something, God forbid, it allows me to catch it. And the M7 is the command for the vacuum system to be turned on. So that's what I use for the vacuum system. Now if I hit Control F, now if I hit unload, we'll search for the next section. There's 5 sections or 5 tools here. Now the next section, as you notice at the bottom here, when it's finished with this section, which was the drilling the holes, it turned off the spindle, it turns off the vacuum, and then goes into the unload dust shoe again. So it unloads it, grabs the tool, loads it, runs the spindle up to speed, and then pauses. It gives you a command, and CNCJS is what I use, so it'll come up with a little pause. If I hit the play button after that, it continues to turn on the vacuum dust collection, and then continues from there on out. And that's basically how it's set up for every instance that I have. It's pretty easy to edit the G-code. I might post up on the Discord link. I think I have the Dust Boot mod. There's some other people that are using it, but the Dust Boot itself, let me see if I can open the file. I'll show you what the file looks like. It's under Documents. Here it is, Fusion 360 Dust Boot with a modded CPS. Now if you look at this, this is the section I had to edit. Unload last tool, it shows you what it's doing, Dust Boot parking. It's got other sections in here for the unload, load. This is the main part of it, the function Dust Boot for load or unload. It basically, all these commands it writes. So if you use this post processor along with the batch post processor, which you select this in the section here. So when I click, I go back to manufacturer. When I click this button here for post processor down here, the post processor that it's using is the Fusion Dust Boot modded CPS. And that's the one with the Dust Boot mods. Not everybody will have this, but that's basically how I do it and how it's set up. And the code for running it on the machine. My other videos I showed a test where I had like 5 tool changes with Dust Boot loading and unloading. The only thing I haven't added to this would be the automated probe, which automated probing, it works okay. I mean, with the one that I have, but it's not as accurate as it needs to be. I still haven't made the arm and the other sections of it to keep it sturdy enough to do the auto probing. I have an A-axis set up on the machine, and the A-axis goes ahead and deploys the probe, and that's what I use along with the Z to measure a piece. And CNCJS is the only application that stores multiple codes or the multiple probing locations. So that's what I was using, but I still have to get that fully set up. Let's see the tools here. I have to check some of the tools. Tool 1, Tool 2, Tool 3, flat end mill, form mill. Form mill is the threading mill. I don't know, they call it a form mill, but this is the one it should be for drilling the holes for the M4. T3 is tapping or threading the holes. T1 is the 1/4 inch flat end mill for making the distro channels. T4 is the G1/4 thread mill for making the G1/4 threads for the fittings for the water loop. And T5 is the flat end mill, which is used to make the O-ring channels. And that basically is it as far as the setup and doing everything. Cancel this. Let's see, we'll simulate and do a little bit quicker. So this is it, going through and drilling all the holes out like from the last video. And then from there it should go to the thread mill, which is a lot quicker. And then go through the adaptive 3D adaptive clearing. When I start this, I'm going to see, I usually haven't ever done it where it does full adaptive like that. On my jobs, I usually do a regular raster where it follows in here, goes around and continues to raster all the way around till it gets to this outer edge, and goes like 1 millimeter down, which usually takes about 8 passes. This one I'm going to actually try it this way to see how the finish is. If the finish ends up being to where I have to stop the machine or something, I can always go back in and add a finish pass by just telling it for the large water channel to stock to leave. I can leave so much radial or radial or axial stock to leave. I can have it leave because it's auging out so much at a time. 1 millimeter on either side. So let's see. Yeah, radial stock. So if I were to tell it to leave 1 millimeter here on both sides, what that would tell it to do is basically leave enough on the bottom and on the sides to where I can get a bit to come in and clean it. So let's say if it was 0.50. Let's see, we'll do 0.50. And it should be able to see it when it machines it. So it's not going to go right to this edge or to the bottom on any of these, which will allow me, if I wanted to come in with like a 1/4 inch end mill which is the same one, or an 1/8 inch end mill and do a nice finishing pass, I could do so, especially on this outer edge. Usually, this has always got that spiral finish to it when it does the tooling. But if I pause it here, instead of it being down the 850, or 8 millimeters, it's actually leaving 0.50 on this. And it should be leaving, I don't know if you can see it, but it should be leaving this 0.50 here. This actually should be 0.5 there to there. So I can come in with a finish pass at a slower ramp or a different type of cut. Fusion 360 gives you a lot of means to be able to change the way you're cutting or tooling or machining. But that's how we have it set up, and I still have to do the other piece that I was getting ready to change, which was, I think, the back panel. Yeah, this is the front panel. I still have to do the back panel. Let's see, I still have to do this one. I haven't done anything with the manufacturing yet. I'll basically just copy the setup right over into here, so all the tools come into it and everything is already there, so I don't have to go crazy with how I import it. I'll just go here, and I can almost, I should be able to copy this setup, which is here, to this setup here. Let's see, paste. Oh no, here we'll see. We're gonna have to. Yeah, see, it's got all this here. So setup, I can, excuse me, drag any of these in. So M4 holes, I can put them in there. Or setup 2. Just have to change all the parameters and everything else. So we'll just change the name of this too. So it's gonna be. This is back panel. Back panel. This other one, setup 2. This one should be middle panel. I'm bad at usually remembering to name stuff. So now if I click on the M4 holes and hit edit, oh, that was edit tool, not edit. Nothing's selected, so if I select this one, it automatically selects all these. Let's see. It should be selecting these too. I don't know why it's not. These are all through holes. Oh, there we go. I had to select that one. So that basically selects all those. Still has the same heights, everything. I don't have to go crazy with any of it. No stock to leave. And click OK, and let's see what this one says. No model is selected. Oh, I gotta select the model. I'll click here and model select, and then OK. Now let's see what it says now. All models will be selected to be used. Let's see, edit. Gotta select this. I don't know why it makes me download the model every single time when it's already in there. And we're gonna make sure our stock is where it's supposed to be. This upper corner, and then lower corner. Hit OK. Gotta select. Make sure this is selected. There we go. I fixed that. Now, go from there. We don't have any M4 threads on this piece, so we don't need that one. The large water channel. we can go in and it should be same boundaries. We have to select the boundary. If we do adaptive, it'll be the same thing. Selecting these boundaries here, which ended up doing it the way it should have been. And let's see if it might select these, it might not. No, it is selecting them. Alright, good. Yeah, I selected those. Okay, I don't know why it's going along the top like it is, so what is it doing here? I don't know why it's doing that last. So let's see. Exit this and see if we can fix that. It should be just that boundary there. Oh, that's going to change it at all. Unless it's the thickness. No, it's got to be the thickness of the piece, so. See, this panel here was the same thickness, I thought. $12.5, yeah. Isn't this the same size? Yeah, 12.5. It's usually something to do with what you're selecting most of the time. No, see, it's selecting that face. We want the boundary. Why is it? Let's see if we do face contours. No, let's see, it's collecting everything off of that one. So it's not face contours. It should be chain. Let's just do the large circle, see what it does. No, see, it's going through the edge. That's weird. might be grabbing something. That's boundary box. Tool inside boundary. Define stock by let's see if that one was define stock. We'll check the other one just to see what it does. This one was tool. Entire tool stays inside the boundary. As a result, the entire service contained by the boundary might... See, it says inside. As a result, the entire service contained by the boundary might not be machined. Boundary limits the center of the tool. It ensures that the entire surface inside the boundary is machined. Tool centered on boundary. I wonder, what does that do? It still should cut it all. I said I haven't used this 3D adaptive to do these large holes. It looks like it's cutting just about minus the 0.50. Let's try that on the other one. Edit. Tool center on boundary. Huh, it still wants to do that top. Gotta be something else I'm missing. And edit, let's see. From source, tool center 0, 19 faces, include model setup. So, tool center, include model setup. Let's see here. Previous source. Wait a minute. Define stock by remaining. That was remaining. And what is this one? Remaining from previous. I don't see anything. 19 faces were selected on this one. $11 faces on this one. Include model setup. Huh. Worst case, if it does that again, or it does the top section here, then I'll just have to, yeah, see, it's doing the top. Don't know why it's doing that. Let that finish, and then with 3D adaptive clearing, select the 1/4 flat end mill. Just put these figures in quick. Machine boundary. Model. Was that boundary box or silhouette? A boundary box. So, for the boundary box. Boundary box. Tool center. No offset. Wonder if I do it this way. I wonder. I did it this way before. I claim to be no expert with Fusion, that's for sure. I've only been using it for about a year. No, it's still going around. Alright, so I'm gonna adaptive clearing, we'll just do that. Include model setup. Model surfaces. What if I just do these surfaces? I might be doing the whole top. Well, it's still processing something. What, I have no idea. See, G1/4 threads we don't need in this piece. We don't need the O-ring here. Free up some memory. Oh, alright. It's because I didn't tell the tool, I think, to stay down and go both ways, so it's raising every single time. So if we go to, let's see, we'll go to 5, let's see, 3. stock. Source isn't anything. We'll do 1000 here. Oh, maximum stay down. Wrap clearance height. Helix diameter. So we want this half. Let's see, 3017. We'll do 0.50 here. I think I had this at 1.25, something like that, and this is at 2. Let's see. Maximum roughing step down. We'll just set this to 10. Let's see if that fixes it from all those travel moves. Might not. As you can see, the main reason why I'm water cooling the system, which is a 9950X, this is the CPU temperature right now while I'm running AutoCAD and it's doing all its rendering and okay, it's going through that whole top, so we don't want that. Let's see. Boundary box. I don't think I selected those on the other one. I didn't have these selected. I just had the box selected, I think. Okay, I don't know if that's going to work. It seems to be taking a lot longer than it should. I really don't know what the difference is between this part and the other part, as far as the 3D adaptive clearing, because see, it's picking up all these holes and everything. That's not correct. That's weird. If we do silhouette, I did view absolute surface groups. Avoid machine surface groups. Well, we could avoid those other ones. that's not what I want. The normal way that I used to do pocketing is used to pocket like this, click here, one pocket selected, blah blah blah. You do the multiple depths. You can tell it to go one finishing step down, one finishing pass, no stock to leave, and ramp clearance is this. And if you click it, let's see. Yeah, see, that's the normal way it would do it. So I don't have the height set. Maximum roughing step down. This would have to be set to like 1.5 millimeters. Finishing feed rate, it's the same. Step over on the feed rate would be 0.25. We want no lead-ins, no overlap. Finishing step down 0.25. Maximum step over would be 1 millimeter. Horizontal lead in, we don't want any lead in and lead out. Ramp clearance be 2 or 1.5. Let's see what that does. Oh, okay. That's because I don't have the right bit selected. There, we'll just keep that. What does it say here? Oh, ramp diameter to helix diameter. I'd be right. Where's the ramp diameter? Two point zero. 0. .50. Yeah, see, this is the normal way, and you can make it go down further if you wanted to. So right now this is only going down 1.3 millimeters. So if I wanted it to cut more, I could do like a helix in, which would be like we could do like 2.5 here. Three millimeters there. 2 degrees. We don't want any horizontal lead in. I think linear is from the side. Really don't want no lead-ins. Maximum stuff over would be like 3 millimeters there. Maximum roughing step down, we'll do 3. You can see it just increases. So when you simulate this now, see how much meat it's taken. And that's just another way of doing it. A lot of people do it this way. And there's nothing wrong with that. To 4 passes, it leaves a pretty good finish, especially if you do a finishing pass on it, which you allow for the like a 0.20 finishing pass. See, finishing step down is 0.25. Rough final. Enable apply a roughing pass to final depth when doing multiple depths with 1 or more finishing step downs. See, we can do 1 finishing pass or 2. Multiple finishing pass would be this one. So, yeah, that's basically how to do it the other way. Don't ask me why the 3D adaptive isn't working. If you do 3D, we can do pocket clearing and click here. Let's check this. That's the right tool. Centered on boundary. Well, let's see what this does. See, it's selecting the whole face. I don't know why it's doing that. We'll do selection. So that's just doing that. So if we were to do it like we did the other one, which was just by selecting these, I don't want that. We don't want that face selected. Cancel that. Ah, damn it. Try this again. I did it again. I don't understand why it does that. Stupid closed chain. Hopefully I can hit them all properly this time. What a pain in the ass that was. Let's see what it does when you select that. See, it's copying the top. Why is it machine boundary? This doesn't make sense what it's doing. Boundary blocks selects the whole thing. no idea. It's got to be something to do with just the selection and how I'm selecting it. Might take me a little while to figure it out. Why it's selecting the wrong ones. Or machining the whole face when I tell it to. Like it is. It's just machining the whole face. Like I said, I am not a guru of Fusion. Let's see, we'll do selection. Face contours. We'll do should be a chain. What does it do when you do the chain? It doesn't show very much. Alright, that goes along there, so that's not right. So, edit, go to where it says the chain. Hit the face contour and see what it does. It still goes to that box and does the edge. Should be pocket. That is a pocket. Yeah, I can't explain that at all. Huh. That's weird. If I select the silhouette, it's not gonna do, it's gonna do pocket recognition. Let's see what it says. We don't want it to include holes. Minimum quarter radius. Huh. Yeah. That's stock contours. We don't want that. Model 13. Include model setup. Whoa. That's tanking up like crazy. Well, I'm going to have to figure this out somehow and then go from there. See why it's doing that. But I'm going to end the stream here. Hopefully it helps some people out with information. We'll learn as we go. Have a good night.